School of Golf Long Game Special.
That's right, we're not in studio. We're on the 18th hole of the Legend Golf Course at Ibis Golf and Country Club, West Palm Beach, Florida, home to 3 Nicklaus golf courses and home to Martin Hall. I teach here. This is my crib. This is where it's all at. Welcome to School of Golf. We're out and about, and we're going to show you drills you couldn't possibly think of doing in studio.
Yes, glad to be here, Martin. And you've been the Director of Instruction here at IBIS for 15 years now?
I have 15 great years. My office is not too bad, is it?
Couldn't have picked a better spot. And I've seen a lot of hazards in my life, but I'm looking around the 18th tee here, and I see water, I see OB stakes, and a 15-foot pole. What's that all about? That's
going to be, and a fence, don't forget the fence.
Yes,
but that's going to be very useful for people understanding 4 of my very favourite drills to play the game better.
We're looking forward to that. All right, and if you'd like to become a part of the class, go to schoolofgolf@golfchannel.com. That's our email address. You can send us all of your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you, and like us on Facebook or become our friend on Facebook at facebook.com/schoolofgolf. Okay, we need the lesson plan, Martin.
Okay, well, absolutely we need the lesson plan. We're going to talk about better ball striking today. 4 drills for that. We're going to talk about playing from the rough, something people get into all too often, uneven lies, and then a spell on fairway bunkers. Okay, let's get going with 4 of my absolute favourite drills that you can't possibly see and appreciate in studio. One of the things that so many people have when they hit a golf ball, so many, people tend to have the hands behind, the club head's over-accelerating at the moment of impact, and it's, you could call it scoopy, throwy. I don't actually talk about an impact position. I could freeze frame the swing of a world-class player and show you that at impact the hands are ahead, but I'd rather do a drill to have you achieve that than just tell you to get the hands ahead. I've got my magnetic lie tool on my 7-iron to show you that when the hands get way ahead, you take loft off the club, ergo you would hit the ball low. Now, out here you can see I've got a fence. Well, why call it a fence? You know, 2 shafts and a piece of string. About 1 club high, maybe, about 3 or 4 paces in front of me. If you want to learn to get your hands to behave like a tour pro, do this. Take a normal setup, ball sort of on the front part of the stance, and start with short ones, but see how good can you get at hitting low shots, and gradually build that up, until eventually you can get where, hopefully, at least you'll feel you're going to hit a very low shot. Now, it may not go that low, well, that one did, but I can be sure there that my hands were ahead at the sort of the impact moment. Great drill. Now, Holly made mention of a 15-foot black and white pole. You can see that. I call that my SDP, my start direction pole. I'm just going to get rid of my fence here for a moment. I'm going to tell you why I use that start direction pole. I've put it absolutely on my target line. I think you can see down here, I've got that pole absolutely on my target line. This is sort of an acquired skill, but if you want to learn to be a controller of your golf ball, and that's really what golf is all about, skill, you want to be able to, it would be so nice anyway, to be able to, by choice, start the ball right of Mr. Marker Post and see if you can turn it left, which that one certainly did. Start the ball left of Mr. Marker Post, see if you can make it cut to the right, and I'm going to tell you how to do this in a moment, but can you start it left and make it cut? Yes, it did. So in doing that, you can really fix most of your directional problems. If you hit slices and pulls, then the shot you need to be working on would be hitting it to the right of that directional pole. Most people actually need to do that. Most people probably need the ball back in the stance, the feeling of swinging a little bit to the right, the feeling of letting that toe work up, so that with ease you can start that ball to the right of that marker post and bring it back to the left. And I would be very, very happy with that. Hopefully the camera could see that. But a great way to do it. Now, 3rd drill. This one I got from Peter Costis when I first came to America 27 years ago. I still use it. It's called the inside pass drill. There really is a lot of golfers who come over the chop and chop down on the ball. And back in the day, we actually used to do it with a rake handle. Can't tell you how many rakes we broke doing this. So I now put a swimming pool noodle on top of a shaft. I put it so it's over the target line, the back of the ball a bit, and it's probably angled at about 30 degrees to the target line. Now, why does this work? If you come over the top, you're going to hit the sponge. Now, one special addendum here, I don't want you to try and swing back without hitting that sponge. That very often leads to an overly inside takeaway. So slight addendum here, to get a good backswing and then an inside downswing, take your setup, said pull noodle is over the tight line, cock your wrist here, so now I can go ahead and swing without being too flat, and then come down underneath that, and there's a pretty sizable draw, which is what you're going to get from coming underneath that sponge. If you're an over-the-topper, Mr. Swimming Pool is going to list, the Swimming Pool Noodle is going to let you know. Now that brings me to my last drill, which is both good for juniors and seniors, and it involves a tennis ball and an alignment rod. I thought long and hard about the difference between juniors and seniors when they play golf. And it's a bit of a funny thing because juniors typically get the hips out of the way too soon, and seniors don't get the hips out of the way at all. Well, here we go. What I need to do here, if you're a junior and you get the hips out of the way too soon, this is a good drill. Take a ball on a shaft, tennis ball I've put there, and I've put it so it's about level with my heel line. I'm going to take a driveway marker, alignment rod some people call it, and I'm going to show you that when my hips are square, I'm going to move that back just a little bit, when my hips are square, that alignment rod is not touching the tennis ball. If you turn your hips too soon, you would hit tennis ball before golf ball. So for juniors, I like most juniors to feel they're going to hit the golf ball before they would hit the tennis ball. Now, for most seniors who don't move the hips fast enough, I'm going to get them to try and hit the tennis ball before the golf ball. And seeing as I am no longer 21, for me, it is definitely tennis ball before the golf ball. And if I do that, I'm going to hit some good shots. So 4 really good shots there, 4 drills to put it all together. There you go.
What have you got over here?
All kinds of stuff going on.
And more tips are heading your way to help your long game. We've got some tips to help you when you're in that nasty, gnarly rough. Martin's got you covered as we continue from Ibis Golf and Country Club here on School of Golf. We're back after this. Welcome back to School of Golf on Golf Channel, and we are not in the office today. We are at Ibis Golf and Country Club here in West Palm Beach, where you are the Director of Instruction and have been for more than 15 years now. Thanks for having us here today,
Welcome.
giving us a chance to get out of the studio and see some of these nasty, gnarly lies, and you can fix our game.
Well, this one we obviously couldn't teach in the studio, and when we got the opportunity to do this, I wanted to talk about the options that players have out of the rough. There's not one club out of the rough. It rather depends on the lie. Holly, I've got 3 clubs here, and I'm going to have you hit different shots. This is just downright nasty.
It is.
That's all I can say. We're about 150 from the pin, and it would be a mistake to try and think you could hit that on the green. You'd have to be stronger than Hercules.
Okay.
So what I'm going to give you is a style here when the ball is really sitting down that would give you a very steep angle of attack and hopefully would advance the ball forwards perhaps 50 yards short of the green.
And what'd you give me? Sorry.
I've given you an 8-iron
An 8
because
iron.
I want a steep angle. Put your club behind that ball, and I'm going to adjust your setup.
Okay.
Now, I want you to move your right foot to where I'm holding the club, your right foot to here.
Okay.
I want you to move your left foot to here.
Okay.
I want you to put a lot of weight on your front foot,
Okay.
like so, and I want you to keep your weight on your front foot there, Holly, as you basically just pick that club sharply up and bang down on it. This ball is going to come out low, it's going to come out fast, so it's ball back, weight forwards, pick it up and give it a thump. And that, young lady, was
Nice.
beautifully done.
Whoa.
And it's going to leave you about a 30, 40-yard pitch shot to the green. Very well done. Wasn't too ambitious, chance to save par.
Take your medicine, is what you're saying there?
When the lie is bad, yes. Now,
Okay.
let's say the lie wasn't quite as bad as that. We're in the rough, but it's not as bad, and you think you might be able to take it on. So I've put this down in the rough a little bit, again to get the steeper angle of attack, so important, so you don't get the grass between the ball and the club face. But this time, a very different shot. I've given you a 5-iron, and I'm going to have you hit a cut shot. So here's what I want you to do for me. Take your normal setup, and then I'll adjust accordingly. With the normal setup now, I want you to aim a bit to the left. I want you to open the club face at address, and I want you to feel you're going to hit a cut. Now, what does that do? By opening the club face and hitting a cut, again, it steepens the angle of attack, but with this one, you've turned your 5-iron probably into a 6-iron. You're going to get a steep enough angle, you should get some on the ball. So you're aiming more left, challenging the ward here, face is open. You're going to feel like you hit a great big cut here, young lady.
Aim left of the flag?
Yes, you are aiming left of the flag.
Okay, alrighty.
Just open that face a bit and hit a big cut. You
nice.
are on fire. I don't even know that I need to give you this last one. That was really good.
It's clean.
Now, at various times, you might get caught somewhere between those two lies. Not good enough to hit the cut shot, little bit too good that you don't want to just dig it out. That's when the rescue club comes in.
Love this.
Because of the design of the rescue club, it glides through the grass a lot better. So I'm going to push this one down a bit. There's no need to aim left with this one. I'm going to tell you to go down the grip a little bit.
Choke down a bit?
Choke down a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you to make sort of a 3/4 backswing, a 3/4 follow-through, and let's see what we can. Go down that grip maybe just a little bit more.
Okay.
Yep. 3/4 backswing, 3/4 follow-through. Here we go.
Hit a little
well
heavy.
out. I mean, well out of not a very good lie. And the thing out of the rough, Holly, and the viewers at home, the thing out of the rough is always get it out and get it back in play. So 3 different lies requiring 3 different shots. Pick the best one for the shot you're facing.
And those are not where we're stopping today.
Oh, no. No, 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 no.
If you thought that those lies were bad, just wait until this next segment. We're back with more ways to help your long game here on School of Golf. And if you want even more long game drills, go to golfchannel.com/School of Golf to earn some extra credit. And right now, here's Martin with a tip for one of golf's most difficult trouble shots.
We're on the 18th hole of the Legend, and I know you find this hard to believe, but I've missed the fairway. Yeah, I have. And here it is, and it's right up against a tree, and there's no chance of me playing this in a normal fashion and getting anywhere near the green. So I've actually got 2 choices for you right here. One's a safe-ish choice, one's slightly advanced. Let's go with the safer one first. When you're up against a tree like so, but you still want to advance it, try this shot. Hold the club with one hand and sort of backhand up there. Now, I don't expect to hit this on the green, but I do expect to advance it, and I'm just going to pick it up and tap it. I'll advance it somewhat down the fairway. Not too bad, actually. I'd be rather pleased with that. So that's an easy one to hit where you can just pick it up and move it that way. If you want to get a little bit more adventurous, this one I've played a few times in my career because I've been up against a few trees in my career. I'm actually going to take my 9-iron, and I take that because it's got a fairly broad blade at the bottom, do you see? And I'm going to turn the club upside down. So the toe of the club is going to hit the ball. Now, I need to put the ball way back in the stance here for this to work, because if I put the ball in a traditional position and swing left-handed, the blade will be shut and the ball's going to scuff off over to the right. So I'm going to play the ball back. For me, whenever I try and play left-handed, it's absolutely crucial that I do not try and hit the ball too hard. The worst thing you can do is give it a bit of a hit. Okay, so I'm going to try and hit this one left-handed and see if I can get it up somewhere near the green. Now, I did hook it a bit, but again, it got up somewhere near the green. So 2 choices when you're up against a tree. The first one is easier, but the second one can hit it farther. Welcome back to School of Golf. You can see we're not in the studio. We're here at the beautiful Ibis Golf and Country Club, my home for many years. And it's a nice place to be. But, Holly, what have you done to me here?
Well, you already helped us fix some of our shots, some of our lies out of the rough, but I decided to make it a little more difficult on you as the show goes on. So, 4 different shots, 180 yards to the pin, and wind in your face.
Into the wind. Thank you. Thank
Enjoy.
you so much. Seriously, this is a shot that you'll be faced many times. We've got ball above your feet, ball below your feet, uphill lies, downhill lies. You can't make your normal golf swing here, golfers. When that ball is above your feet, which is the first one I'm going to take, do understand this. At some level, depending how high it's above your feet, the ball is going to go left of where you normally aim. Now, the more lofted the club, the more left it goes, but nevertheless, it's going to go left. So the first thing you've got to do is aim a little bit to the right to make an allowance for that. Now, Typically, what most people do when the ball is above the feet is they take their normal stance, normal swing. The ball's about 12 inches higher than normal. They pick it up and they just stick it in the ground and hit it flat. I don't think that's a very good plan. Please don't do that. Here's what I think we should be doing. Bend the knees a bit more than normal and stand up a little more erect from the waist. Shorten the grip a little bit and swing on a flatter plane, a sweeping plane. Exactly what you need to be doing when you're going to hit this ball above your feet. So here we go. I'm going to aim to the right, shorten the grip a little bit. I certainly don't want to hit it in the water on the left, so I'm aiming to the right. I'm going to make a sort of a sweeping, rounded swing. I expect it to hook a little bit. And I would be very pleased indeed with that one. I don't know if it'll get there, but it was a very good shot indeed, so I like that one. Ball below your feet. Changes a little bit. The typical tendency here is for people to hit this one and hit it rather thin, because, of course, the ball is lower than normal. Now, this one is the exact opposite of the one we've just done. In fact, you need to bend over a bit more, hold the club its full length, and this time make much more of an upright golf swing to get down to the ball. And as you may well know, an upright golf swing will probably fade it. So ball below your feet, bend over a bit more than normal, swing more upright than normal, expect the ball to cut slightly, so I probably haven't got enough club here, but here we go. And that's not too bad at all, just a touch left, but not too bad at all. Now, this one is a tricky one. Uphill lie. All these golf balls are pretty close together, but something's going to become really apparent here. I'm going to say off an uphill lie, you need to swing with the slope, so the ball's going to go high. How high? Well, it's probably going to be pretty close to the loft on this. And although I'm 180, and normally I'd hit my rescue club about 200, 210, because I'm uphill and into the wind, I'm going to take a rescue club here to try and hit it about that 180. So I'm going to balance myself matching the slope. I'm going to swing up the slope, and this ball is certainly going to be high. I'll do well to get this to reach the green, but I still want to try and advance it. So swinging with the slope here, and that's certainly plenty high. I think that would work. You could see I fell back on my right foot a little bit there, so it wasn't too bad. But here's the important point. If this is 185 and I'm using my hybrid, I'm going to walk forwards about 6 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've gone from 185 using a hybrid, and now I'm using a 6-iron. And I'm going to lean down the slope, because now this is going to come out much lower. So always sort of swinging, matching the slope, swinging down the slope. So from just 6 yards nearer, I'm using a 6-iron. I'm going to lean down that slope. Now I'm going to stay left and drive it down that slope, and hopefully I can knock this forwards up near the green. You can see how low that comes on. Go on, you little beauty, get up there. I've done it again, Holly.
Pretty good, though.
Not too bad.
I didn't make it tough enough on you, did I?
Well, I've had a lot of practice of these shots in my time, I must tell you.
Okay, well, again, if you thought that these were tough, Martin, just wait until next. You told me that you think it's the graveyard, possibly, for your golf ball in your golf game. Coming up next, Martin shows you how to escape from this graveyard. You're watching School of Golf on Golf Channel.
Looking for feedback on your golf swing? With Golf Channel's Swing Fix, you can get a quick, easy, and affordable lesson from your choice of more than 60 instructors, including me and my team. Go to golfchannel.com/swingfix to upload your video and improve your game.
We welcome you back to the final few minutes here on School of Golf, and as you can see, we're not in a library this week as we usually are. We're at the spectacular Ibis Golf and Country Club here in West Palm Beach, where Martin is the Director of Instruction, and he has brought us here this week. Thank you so much. It's time to wrap up the show with one of the most difficult shots for amateurs in the game of golf.
Well, not only amateurs, Holly. I mean, the fairway bunker shot, I promise you, when I was trying to play for a living, I was unquestionably the worst fairway bunker player in the Northern Hemisphere.
Really?
No doubt about it. And I'll show you why. Let me tell you what I did and what I do now, and that'll help the viewers at home. Back in the day, I knew it was important to get the ball first, and so I used to put the ball way back in the stance and pick it up and come down steeply. It can work, but it's very difficult. The problem with this is if you are 1 grain of sand out, that club is going straight down into the sand and you're going to hit it fat. Nowadays, I do it very differently. I put the ball forwards in the stance, I shorten my grip, and I try and stand as tall as I can at address. Normally, I'm 6 foot. I try and stand, as it were, 6'1". I get my arms fully stretched, and for me, I have a little what I call Steve Stricker look out of the fairway bunker. I feel like my wrists don't do very much. Now, I usually have to take 1 more club, but standing tall, taking the wrists out of it and trying to pick it straight out of the top generally does a very good job of picking that ball pretty much straight up off the top of the sand. Here we go. And that did a pretty good job right there. Didn't take a grain of sand, and I do think that is on the green.
Very good.
Not too bad, I must tell you.
And you referenced Steve Stricker. We all remember one of the greatest shots in golf, the 2011 John Deere Classic, when Stricker hit on the 18th hole to the back of the green, made birdie. It was unbelievable.
Yes, he did. Well, Holly, I must say, it's been a thrill to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. It's been a thrill to have you watching. It's been a thrill to let you see my home at Ibis Golf and Country Club. So thank you to all the people at Ibis who make it so possible for us. You've been great, as you always are. And I'd like to finish with my mission statement. I believe this from the bottom of my heart. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you will surely keep getting what you've been getting. Make the effort, make the change, it's worth it. From Ibis, for Holly Saunders, I'm Martin Hall.